Hey everyone, Ace here. I just wanted to say before we start this video, sorry for not uploading for 3 months. I've been occupied with school and my jobs, but thankfully I found the time to make videos, so hopefully the next video won't take a quarter of a year to make. Hopefully. Anyways, I thought I would do a type of video I've wanted to do for some time. I know I said I would do my favorite water types video next, but I really thought this type of video would be a fun video to make. Plus, with Gen 9 right around the corner, there isn't a better time than now, and I can say now is the perfect time for me to ask, how can we improve Raichu? Now, before anyone in the comments says anything, yes, I know this isn't a new idea or anything. In fact, channels such as Treadway and very recently, in fact, PokeAim MD have done videos where they take a Pokemon that is very mediocre and gives it the upgrades necessary in order to be good. So while the idea of how can we improve blank Pokemon isn't anything new and flashy, I still find the idea to be rather fun, as it creates for some captivating conversations and even creates ideas never thought of before. Now, I'll be 100% honest. I think this video won't be as good as Treadway or PokeAim. So if you want to see their videos and how they improve bad Pokemon, I've left links to their channels in the description below. I would highly recommend watching their videos as they make really excellent content and, to be fair, have way better editing skills than I could hope for. But enough about bashing my own skills. Let's go over how these types of videos will be formatted. In order for me to improve a said Pokemon, I'll first be looking at a Pokemon's current traits. So in other words, we will have to look at its current stats, move pool, and abilities. Secondly, we'll go through each trait and find solutions to improve said traits. And finally, we will conclude with our new product and predict how well the result could be. So with that said, let's get into it. So Raichu. What should I really say other than it's my favorite Pokemon? Yeah, in case I haven't said it yet, Raichu is my favorite Pokemon. It's cute, it has a cool design, and as of now, it's pretty good to use. For in-game, that is, because sadly for competitive, Raichu is really mediocre. Although I use Raichu in competitive, I won't pretend like it's good. And when we look at Raichu's stats, it becomes clear as to why it's mediocre in competitive. But before we improve the stats, I would like to talk about Raichu's move pool and abilities first. And thankfully, I can say these two traits are quite solid. A quick glance at Raichu's move pool may lead you to think it's rather average at first glance, but a closer look will reveal that it is actually quite better than most electric types, and that's because it actually has coverage that is usable. For its main stab, we have the classic Thunderbolt, a solid move and the best electric type move to use for a Raichu, but if Thunderbolt is not the shock you like, there's also Volt Switch for pivoting, Thunder Punch is a physical move, and even the grossly powerful Volt Tackle. All are excellent electric type moves, so you can never go wrong with each one. As for the coverage I hyped up, we got coverage such as Iron Tail, Brick Break for screens and a fighting stab, or the Shaky Focus Blast depending on your set, Play Rough, Draining Kiss for some recovery, Knockoff for item removal, Dig if you're absolutely insane, and the best coverage move, Grass Knot, a move that makes it possible for Raichu to sweep all of Sinnoh. While this coverage may not seem like a lot, it's far better than most electric types. Jolteon is an excellent example of this, as its move pool consists of nothing but electric type moves, and the only coverage move it gets as of now is Shadow Ball and nothing else. This is how most electric types function, actually. They are fast special attackers whose downsides are that they don't have any bulk or coverage to speak of. But thankfully, my favorite boy has one of the better move pools. But offense isn't the only good thing in Raichu's move pool, though, as if we look at its support options, it has Thunder Wave to slow down opponents, Charm to cripple physical attackers, Reflect and Light Screen for added bulk, Fake Out for early chipped, and even Nasty Plot to boost its already average special attack. It's fair to say Raichu's move pool is above average for the standard electric type, who I've already claimed have pretty crummy move pools due to being all shock and no coverage. And that's a good segue into Raichu's abilities, which range from situational to excellent. While static is only useful on a whim, Lightning Rod is excellent 24/7, as gaining a free special attack boost while also being immune to a type you resist is excellent. With all that said, now we know what we're working with. A Pokemon whose abilities are great, its move pool is good, while its stats are below average. So let's find out how we can improve Raichu. We'll start off with the stats. Now, I'll just say it. 485 is pretty underwhelming for a third stage Pokemon. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's underwhelming for a Pokemon that isn't reliant on a gimmick. There we go. Much, much better. Anyways, to address the stat problem, I find it fair we give Raichu a stat boost. And while I could just give it plus 100 and then call it a day, I want to give Raichu a fair, respectable, and not overpowered stat boost. So when we get to this section of the video, I will have a set number of points that seem fair to add to the base stat total of the Pokemon. And once the number is set, I will add those points into stats and explain why these point additions, or even subtractions in some cases, may seem good. Rather than me try to explain it anymore because I'm bad at explaining, let me just show you how it works. For our set number of points we're allowed to add, we'll add 45 points, resulting in Raichu's base stat total to become 530, the standard base stat total of most third stage Pokemon. Now that we have our set number, let's see where those stats will go. To start off, let's improve Raichu's offenses by adding 10 points into both of its physical attack and special attack, giving Raichu's attacks a bit more of extra power. Next up, we're going to bump up Raichu's awful bulk. Longevity is something often overlooked in offensive Pokemon, and while the stat boost isn't going to make Raichu a tank by any means, it will, however, make Raichu stick around longer for a game. So let's add 10 points into its HP stat and 5 points into its physical defense stat. And to cap off the stat additions, let's just add 10 points into its already excellent speed. I decided some extra speed was needed, as that allows Raichu to outrun some key Pokemon it previously could never hope to outrun. I'm looking at you, Superior. So that was our stat additions, and to be honest, I'd say it was a fair spread. Some extra power, extra bulk, and even a little extra dash. I'm proud of this spread. Now that we have our stats done, let's talk about my favorite part of this series, the move pool section. Pokemon moves are as iconic to the series as the pocket monsters themselves. Earthquake, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, the list just goes on and on. But I'm not going to gloss over Pokemon moves. Instead, I will talk about why a Pokemon should learn a certain move, like Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon is a special move, as it's one of the only special moves for an otherwise physical type. The move itself is based on light energy, and seeing that Raichu's Pokemon Yellow Pokédex entry says Raichu glows in the dark and can learn the move Flash, it makes perfect sense for Raichu to be able to learn this move, as not only would it look nice in its move pool, but also would work alongside Raichu's lore. Another move that works alongside Raichu and the idea of light energy is Energy Ball. I mean, Raichu can learn Grass Knot, and if we take a look at its Pokemon Sapphire Dex entry, it claims this Pokemon exudes a weak electrical charge from all over its body that makes it take on a slight glow in darkness. So realistically, Raichu should be allowed to learn Energy Ball, as not only is it excellent coverage for Raichu's only weakness, but as I mentioned with Flash Cannon, it works alongside Raichu's lore. And since we're giving Raichu moves based on light, we might as well let Raichu have access to the move Dazzling Gleam. If Raichu can magically kiss a Pokemon and gain health back, then surely it can create a blinding light of fairy magic. So those were all the special moves that I feel Raichu should be allowed to learn. And next up we have the physical moves. But before we move on to the physical moves, there is one more move I would like to give Raichu. So you know the move Focus Blast, right? Oh, you don't? Well, that's probably because it missed you. As usual. To keep it short, Focus Blast is a garbage move. While its power is great, that's not what makes it bad. It's the accuracy. 70% accuracy may not seem like bad accuracy, but it is when it misses. Plus, it has low power point usage. So let's not let Raichu use a special fighting move that has low accuracy and power point usage. But let's let it use a special fighting move that never misses and has significantly more power points. Say hello to Aura Sphere. I really don't have much of a reason for Raichu learning this move, but if Sharpedo can learn Close Combat, I don't see why Raichu can't learn Aura Sphere. Also, did you know Sharpedo learns Close Combat? Yeah, a shark can just punch. God, I love Pokemon. But since we're on the topic of punches, let's talk physical moves. Now, one thing that I love about this section is that I can give a Pokemon a move pool that would work good for them in terms of coverage, but also in terms of their design as well. In Raichu's case, it could easily use its Lightning Bolt tail as a blade. I mean, most of Raichu's Pokédex entries mention how it burrows its tail into the ground to release all that electric power. So if Raichu's tail is powerful enough to store 10,000 volts of electricity in its tail, then surely it could use its tail as a blade or axe of sort. So with that said, some fun moves Raichu would be able to take advantage of with its tail would be Leaf Blade, Aqua Tail, Poison Jab, Night Slash, and even Psycho Cut. Raichu could easily use its Thunder Tail as a blade, and if you do not find this cool, I'm gonna have to ask you to kindly leave. Maybe you could use U-Turn, another move that would be good for Raichu's fast hit and run nature, as well as giving it a physical pivoting move. Air Slash is also a good move that Raichu could use its tail to launch to cause flinches. I know it's not a physical move, but I didn't really have anywhere good to put it in this section. For our last section of improving a Pokemon, we have the ability section. But before we do move on to the ability section, there is one more move I would like to give Raichu. This is a move that I never understood why Game Freak never gave Raichu all the way back in Gen 1. It's a move so many Pokemon get, but not Raichu. That is until now, as I'm going to give Raichu Swords Dance. There are so many Pokemon who learn Swords Dance. Plus, most of them have a blade-like part of their body that lets them set up Swords Dance. And seeing that we gave Raichu physical moves based on its Thunder Tail, it only makes sense to give Raichu a move that would increase its attack stat. Plus, physical Raichu is something I have wanted for so long. So giving it Swords Dance would make this dream come true and could make Raichu a Pokemon that is difficult to counter, as it's unsure whether Raichu is running a physical set or a special set, making it unpredictable. And we're done with the move section. So now let's move on to the final section, the ability section. And this is kind of going to be underwhelming. Although I could give Raichu another ability, I feel as though Static and Lightning Rod are perfectly good enough abilities, and it doesn't really need any help in the ability department, so we're not going to give Raichu another ability. So to end this on a good note, we're going to give Raichu access to an item that it probably should have been allowed to use for decades: Pikachu's Light Ball. That's right, we're going to give Raichu the ability to use its pre-evolution signature item. Raichu is better than Pikachu in literally every way imaginable. Pikachu is frail, pathetically weak offensively, and has just average speed. And while yes, Light Ball does double Pikachu's offensive stats, that's all it does. It doesn't improve its average speed, and its bulk is still abysmal. And seeing that our new Raichu has a double of Pikachu's offensives, has way better speed, and is ever so slightly bulkier, Light Ball would be a perfect item to let Raichu be able to use. And considering that we're giving it both Nasty Ball and Swords Dance, added bulk and extra attack, Raichu would be straight up terrifying to fight with these circumstances. And with all of those additions, we have finally reached our conclusion. And in conclusion, the best way to improve Raichu would be to 1. Add 45 points to its base stat total, resulting in 70 points in HP, 100 points in physical attack, 60 points in physical defense, 100 points in special attack, 80 points in special defense, and 120 points in speed, resulting in a new base stat total of 530. 2. Allow Raichu to have the moves Flash Cannon, Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Aura Sphere, Leaf Blade, Aqua Tail, Poison Jab, Night Slash, Psycho Cut, Air Slash, and the attack boosting setup move Swords Dance. And 3. Let Raichu have access to Light Ball and use it effectively. With all of these boosts, Raichu could possibly be an excellent UU Pokemon, and its usage in VGC doubles could skyrocket an already widely used Pokemon. Overall, I'm really happy with how I've come up with a way to improve my favorite Pokemon. But what did you guys think? Do you think I improved Raichu enough or not enough? Is this new Raichu OP or weak AF? What would you do? And is there any Pokemon you'd like to see me try and improve? Let me know down in the comments below, and thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Later!